special treat. Young lady's going to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jayesha, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to the audience. This is Jayesha Cesar. She is a 5th grader, am I right?
Yes.
5th grader at East Salisbury Elementary School. And Jayesha, would you like to introduce your family and guests to the audience?
Right there is my mom, Jayesha Cesar, and that's my little sister, Liana. And right there is my principal, Mr. Jones. And over there next to him is our homeschool liaison at East Salisbury. We really appreciate you being with us. You're welcome.
.2 is approval of our agenda. Need a motion to approve it.
Move to approve.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same. Again today, we'll take a few minutes for, we lost another member of our family, Dr. David Johnson, Jr., retired teacher and administrator, Salisbury High, James M. Bennett, Parkside, and Y High. I had the honor to know Mr. Johnson because he affected my daughters. So this time, in your own way, I'd like to have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. .4 summer school programs. We have a presentation. I think we had some gentlemen in the auditorium with us today. A lot of grins on their faces.
We have
we're missing school today too. So. Yeah. But we're getting back.
Very brief report first from our elementary administrators who are going to share with you some of the elementary programs, followed by Mr. Dave Harner, who will be talking about our secondary program. So Mr. Bryson and Mr. Harris.
Thank you very much, the board members. Just wanted to come together again this afternoon just to briefly touch base. If you remember earlier on, those are with us in May or June, we talked about our programs. As you'll see on the PowerPoint slides, there's 3 programs that were taking place this summer, 2 of those being Title I funded, one of those being at Prince Street, and one of those being at East Salisbury, and another also at Glen Avenue. The ones with the Summer Academy, that was funded through the general fund. And we just want to present a little bit of the statistics. Mr. Miller could not be here today. But he did put some information for you to read a little bit about the slots that we're going to the kindergarten, first, and second grade students. And we're working mainly on reading, working with students, assessing them with the BAS program, the Benchmark Assessment Program. And you can kind of see the breakdown there, 24 of the students attending consistently, and some of the alpha level results. So it was very productive for them at Prince Street.
So again, just something to focus on Prince Street's program. The LLI program is a research-based reading intervention program for which we do use on a regular basis throughout the school year in all of our elementary schools. So they were expanding their efforts of that program and carrying it into the summer. And as they found in that short amount of time, which really was 19 days, they did have 13 students that grew that 1 alpha level and 10 students who grew up to 2 alpha levels. So it's a great reflection as a small snapshot of the efficacy of the LLI program as a greater whole, and Prince Street has some great data to reflect that.
Can you explain what an alpha level is?
Yeah, it's the alpha levels kind of correlate to a reading performance level, and then we can use that current reading performance level to drive instruction. So to select what text our students should be reading independently, to also select the level of text that students could be working on instructionally. And so that level really going A through Z is going to, and sometimes those levels, they equate to grade levels. So it gives us an idea to report to parents this is where a child's reading and helps shape our instructional program accordingly.
Well, that was my question, because so many times in reading we hear about reading at certain grade levels.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So this is
Sure.
somewhat the same, but not exactly the same?
That's correct. That is.
It is this company's,
That's what
Fountas
they
and Pinnell's way of categorizing.
Right.
Or
It is important to stress that. You could walk into Barnes & Noble and see different letters on all sorts of books, but that may not correlate to what the Fountas and Pinnell system is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I think I know what LLI is, but you want to explain that?
Okay.
Leveled literacy intervention
Okay.
program through Fountas and Pinnell.
And it is a daily 45-minute program done with students. So if you see that level of commitment and intensity, that was done with these particular students at Prince Street. Okay.
Again, with Glen Avenue, just a summary of the programs that they did. You can see that they were looking at trying to be a little more proactive, working with incoming second graders and third graders. And again, they were using more hands-on application with them with reading and math and more of an integrated program. Not so as much working with the LLI program like the other school did.
Another key with the Glen Avenue students, our program, was to promote participation. So they removed all of the roadblocks. They had door-to-door transportation, so transportation wasn't an issue. They provided breakfast, they provided lunch, they really took the obstacles out, and they even provided an aftercare program. You see Blast for 3 hours. I believe their program ended at noon, so they went an additional 3 hours each day to really facilitate the success of the particular program. They invited all students in second to third grade, and that's important to note. They weren't there was no academic criteria or so on, so all students had that opportunity to participate.
East Salisbury, again, we're working on incoming third graders. This program did work on the LLI program, worked with the reading component, but also did STEM instruction and cross-curricular with math, science, and social studies. And as you can see, 140 of the students were invited, where 46 attended daily on average. And you can see some of the data again with 83% of the students improving in performance from pre to post tests. And again, 100% of the students either improved or maintained their reading level from the beginning of the program to the end of the program.
And Mr. Jones, the principal of East Salisbury, is in the crowd right now, and
He's left.
oh, he did just leave.
he
Okay,
left
I missed
us all
him. He left
alone.
with his students. Goodness. Well, I know he would affirm, as the pictures affirm, this was a very hands-on, rich, and stimulating program. And when you look at the smiles of the kids right there, it was messy, it was fun, and a wealth of learning and content vocabulary stressed during this 19-day program.
Of the 140 students that were invited, why do you suppose more did not attend?
Yeah, that was my question.
There's really a mix of factors. We have to understand at the same time that these programs are going on at Glen Avenue, Prince Street, and East Salisbury, we also had a county program going on as well, which we're going to talk a little bit about in just a second, the Summer Science Academy. So there was a number of students that came over with that program. We also are in competition with other programs as well. There are many churches that are offering summer programs and summer camps. There are other sports-related programs that are occurring at that same time as well. So you do have a level of competition with these different programs. But again, with this program, it broke down the barriers, much like Glen Avenue, where students weren't denied by transportation or anything according. They had door-to-door transportation to transport kids there. They served breakfast, and they served lunch as well. Now, one thing I do not believe that this program had was an aftercare option, and sometimes that can provide an obstacle. The program, on this case, wrapped around 12:30.
And finally, our program that we were spearheading this year was the Summer Academy, the Summer Scientist Academy. We had those we had the 4 sites, Fruitland Primary, that served, you can see, Fruitland students, Pinehurst and Prince, North Salisbury, then the Northwestern site, as well as Willards. This really replaced the traditional, as we called it, summer school in the past. It was a morning program where the students could work with a reading component and also with a STEM component in math and a computerized program there. You can see that we had 467 students attend the program, not on a consistent basis. You can see the attendance there being 78%, but that's still, we feel, very favorable because of all of the other things that were going on with the program. It was a lot more hands-on it's definitely a totally different program than the traditional summer school, but we felt very confident in the success of the program this year.
Ultimately, there were 200 more students that attended the Summer Science Academy than had previously attended summer school over the past few years. So the success in that 19 days, beyond the hands-on activities and the rich instruction, we also reached 200 additional students with this program.
And this was the county-funded program. This was not through Title I funds. The next slide just shows a little bit about the staffing by site. We had a number of teachers that worked for us, number of assistants. We had extra office staff, and each facility had a nurse on staff. And then Dave will speak just briefly about the aftercare programs because that was a highlight of our programs.
Yeah, one of the key things, if we were going to offer competition with other programs in the county, we needed to provide a full-day program. The Science Academy was originally structured as a half-day program, so how do we meet that afternoon component? And hopefully at the same time spread that responsibility to our community with the aftercare options. So we partnered with the organizations that you see listed right here. The Rec and Parks were a fantastic partner at Delmar North and West Side. The LEAP program, which was staffed with some grant funding here, the 21st Century grant, if I recall, and then also the YMCA helped out. And then Crown Care. So each of the 4 sites was partnered with another aftercare option. And what was fantastic, too, is the pricing. The LEAP program was free. So you'll see the higher enrollment there. So there weren't any obstacles. And door-to-door transportation was provided for the LEAP program to remove that obstacle and barrier. And then the other programs were heavily discounted to our students for the aftercare options. So what is our hope if we're going to continue forward with this program option, that we continue to build and expand those aftercare options and partnerships moving forward?
Can you just real briefly give us an idea of the type of science that was being worked on? And
Sure. We use the Elementary as Engineering Science program, which we also use components of in our regular science curriculum, and that's coming directly from the Museum of Science Boston campus. So you have that partnership with these well-designed hands-on kits, and it is rich vocabulary, rigorous thinking, and problem solving, and so on that the students are challenged in. That was one half of the program. The next half of the program was Redbird Learning Math, which was a computer-based program, so students would visit the lab and rotate in. And Redbird is directly from Stanford University. And that program was provided, Kirby, free of cost,
it was
correct?
Free from our reading series.
Yes.
We kind of piloted that for them, so it was new to us, and there were some hiccups along the way and so forth, but we got it all figured out after the computer issues that we had. But the students were given a real-life scenario. They then had to use technology to formulate a solution to that problem.
Absolutely. All right. Any other questions?
So next year we're looking for 800. That's what I heard.
You know, you gave us
Susan's shaking her head.
double the students, double the funding. Yes, we love that.
You gave us the challenge last year, but you also supported
We got a gentleman sitting in the back that can control some of that.
It was a great program.
It really was.
So.
To me, I know both of you had shared at the Teacher Year Banquet how much the numbers had gone up.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
And the smiles on your face, and I can see them again today. Yeah. So if we can do more next year, it benefits
the last
everybody.
Slide, and we won't go through, but there was a component of field trips. So we actually used the planetarium that was another component. So we talk about smiles. Exactly. There you go. I know you talked about the planetarium before, Mr. Palmer. But you
Look
can
at the
just
first
see,
comment.
You know, we never knew there was a planetarium in our school. My son loved it. We did a survey at the end of the year
Yeah.
for students, for parents, and for staff. These are just a few of the responses back, but that was a highlight for the kids. So.
Good.
We know that was more than 5 minutes. We apologize.
No,
Absolutely.
No. This is what, to me, this is what we all need to hear.
Very good.
Yeah.
One thing many of our parents did ask for in moving forward is maybe we adjusted the science piece to focus a little bit more on themes. So maybe one week you're focusing more on the earth sciences, Chesapeake Bay or so on, and maybe the next week you're focusing engineering, and the next week chemistry. So you're expanding that, which, you know, when we're looking at expanding our children's awareness of fields of science, let's expose them during that week. Absolutely. It certainly would be a career and readiness science camp.
If we're going to be asked to seek out additional funding, this is the kind of thing that we need to have to show people what we're going to do with those funds.
Yeah.
So very exciting and terrific job.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Mr. Butler is in the back typing the story up right now. I can
That's right. Very good.
We've already featured the program on our
Yep.
YouTube channel.
and this is the results, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to thank you again for your leadership, Susan, Mrs. Jones, and the administrators who were involved in all of our summer programs for taking the challenge of thinking differently about how we offer summer programs. So, wonderful job.
It was a process
Thank
that
you.
we worked through. We got a lot to go on for next year.
Thanks for challenging
So
us.
next year you're going to start the Entrepreneur Academy too?
Wow.
We have that going in the middle.
There's 20 some other administrators in the county.
What do they
Love
say?
for
Show me the money.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
We have the time and energy.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to our secondary summer programs. Dave, Mr. Harner is not a stranger to the group.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dave Harner, and one of the programs I supervise is secondary summer school. I put it in quotes because it's really come to represent an umbrella term of the many different programs that we have under that summer school program. Our numbers over the last 5 years have really grown as well. And before I get into the numbers, though, I do have to thank probably just as much at the elementary level. The secondary level is really much a team effort. We provide breakfast and lunch, the transportation department, sheriff's department, nursing staff, etc., to be able to pull all this together. But you can see almost hit 900 students served throughout the period that is summer school. And that includes several programs, the remedial courses, what many of us think as summer school, failed a course, need to take a course over. Also, I call my eager beavers, those students that sign up and take a class for original credit. They spend 5 hours a day studying a single subject or course in various enrichment programs, including ELL. Oh, I got the clicker. Here's a further breakdown of our remedial programs. As you can see, we've been maintaining close to a 75% pass rate. Attendance probably is the biggest factor as to a student's success in summer school. There is no transportation for remedial summer school or students taking original credit. Some programs are grant funded, and we do have some spotty transportation for those programs, but in general there's no transportation for secondary summer school, so that's a challenge for many students. And for a remedial student, you can take up to 2 courses the schedule allows. Students are in school for up till 1:30 in the afternoon if they're taking 2 classes or if they're taking an original credit. Here are our original credit courses. We offer Honors Algebra 2, Honors Geometry, and Honors Chemistry. Ms. Osman, which one? What?
I was in the middle school STEM camp.
But previously, did you not
Oh no, entering sophomore year, I worked with the middle school STEM camp as a volunteer, and then I came back this past summer. But
Yeah.
I hadn't taken any of these classes.
Oh, I apologize.
No,
I
it's no
thought
problem.
you had.
You take one?
But,
Okay, I saw your face light up.
but
Maybe that
no, I do have a lot of friends that have taken it, and they were glad to do it, especially geometry, because that gets them ahead in math, and it also gives them an opportunity to touch up on their skills. So, probably should use the mic.
Yeah, it has grown and is very popular with our like I said, I called my eager beavers. For our middle school students, we have an enrichment program, as Ms. Osman had just mentioned. She volunteered at. We target our middle school farm population. Again, there's a lot of competing programs out there for families that can afford to send their students to. So our primary focus is on our middle school farm students. 53 students participated for 3 weeks. We do, each of our weeks are thematic. You can see here, this year was Going Green, Renewable Energy, and Robotics Week. One of the other programs going on right now under my supervision that also utilize the umbrella of secondary summer school is our Gear Up grant, which is focusing on the class of 2020. They had some college preparatory programs this summer, a leadership camp this summer, and our partners at Salisbury University, they participated in 2 week-long programs at Salisbury University. And these are students from James M. Bennett Parkside and Wycomico High Schools in the class of 2020. Why the class of 2020? Because that was the focus and the structure of the grant that we got. So that's why that structure is that way. And you can see of those 3 schools, almost 300 students participated in one or more of those camps. Some additional activities. We incorporated some service learning projects. To the right here are students at Salisbury University working with professors on a math and reading integration program. Other programs that fall under that secondary summer school umbrella include the ELL, Enrichment and Academic Support Program for our English language learners. 43 middle and high school students participated in that. Rise Up program is another grant program that helps support students that actually falls under, if the student is taking an academic class, falls after those hours to the end of the day. It helps prepare 8th graders who will be transitioning into the high schools. For that transition, I know they also visit the schools, helps to maybe demystify a little bit and gets them more familiar so they have a better transition to high school. And these are at-risk students that are targeted for that. Started a couple years ago with some teachers visiting from China and grew into last year, not this past summer, but the summer before, and then repeating again this summer. About 50 middle school students have visited us from China over the last 2 summers. This summer, past summer's group were from Shanghai, and they are involved in an English language immersion classes during the daytime. Host families from the community are recruited. They live with the host families for 10 to 12 days, and also incorporate various field trips around Delmarva. Ward Museum and the ocean seem to be their 2 favorite. Followed quickly by the mall, by the way. And then while the students are in class, we also arrange for the teachers that come with them to meet with special ed teachers, to meet with vice principals and other administration staff to talk shop. This program also is at no cost to the county, and they have a fantastic time. Here's the entire group of host families, teachers, and students that visit us this summer. And I believe that's it.
Well, thank you.
Be open to entertain any questions.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Dave.
Excellent.
Thank you, Dr.
Is that all you?
That wasn't my report.
Oh,
That's all there is about
okay,
summer school.
that's what.
Yes, thank you.
Next, we have 3.5 student representatives to the board. And before we get there, we have some people staying in the back that I want to recognize. One setting again with us this month is County Councilman John Hall over here. Thanks for coming again.
These gentlemen are part of my report.
Okay, but I'm on.
If you want.
Well, you can. Okay. Well, this is a good friend of mine, Sheriff of Wycomico County, Mike Lewis, along with Captain Bay Wilson and Sergeant David Owens.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Okay, at this time at our board table, Rowan Osmond from James M. Bennett, and I think she's got a lot to report, especially something about a football game that happened Friday night.
All right. Well, yeah, I did absolutely want to begin by discussing the football game, not only because it was just a spectacular win for Bennett and something that's really great for their record, but because of how it really brought our school together. The whole week leading up to the football game, constantly within the announcements and just within social media, our students and our staff and our faculty had encouraged the students to come out and to support our community of the Clipper family. The day of the football game, we actually all wore red, and I want to give a shout out to Parkside too, because I go there and I know that they also encouraged a lot of involvement. I think the fact that so many Parkside students came to the game just made it so much more exciting and all the more better. So that was probably one of the best turnouts we've had to a football game. And in addition to the community, we had used that as an opportunity for community service. So we have a canned food drive and also some other fundraisers going on for Puerto Rico. So at like the football game and other sporting events, we're collecting sanitation items and other essentials for families that have been harmed by the hurricane. We also have our ELL students who are familiar with Spanish writing notes to the families in Puerto Rico. Right now, we're currently working on homecoming, so Spirit Week and a lot of the normal traditions are being planned, but we have had students come out to us and say that they know they don't really like to be in the dancing environment, so we're making some changes to homecoming this year. We're actually opening up an additional part of our school and are having alternative games and activities held in our gym, just so that a larger population can come out and have a great time. We just previously had Rock and Roll Revival auditions. That's, of course, one of the greatest things about Bennett. So right now we're working on our cast. The theme this year will be My Generation. It's going to be shorter, but it's going to be also more like a rock concert, so hopefully the community will be able to come out and enjoy it this year. We would like to announce that we have had a National Merit Scholarship finalist, Miss Christina Sun. So she's winning the Shining Lights at Bennett when it comes to academics. We also, in terms of academics, will be having an SU on-site admissions day, which will be October 27th, where students who have already applied to Salisbury University can speak to an admissions counselor and can be accepted on the spot. And I think the last thing I'd like to say is that we're also having a lot of support from guidance with application days. So there's a lot going on with Naviance to support our seniors in our quest to going to college.
I think, thank you, but I think on your homecoming, there's going to be some special awards at the football game. The state championship team from 82 and 83 are going to be there to receive their rings. And also, and I'm going to get emotional, to honor one of their members who was killed in Afghanistan, Sergeant Major Waddell Turner. I've been asked to speak, and it's an honor. He was a team captain on the 83 team, and Bennett is going to honor him that day, so that's awesome. And that came about by his quarterback, Cam Cart, who saw a need to do this and stepped out and has made it happen on his own by reaching out to this community. So on the 28th, come to the shipyard There's going to be a great game.
It will be a great game. And there's a lot of things going on with the community that week, too. We have the orange out for Unity Day against bullying. We have a pink out leading up to it for breast cancer awareness. So there's just a lot of support happening with homecoming.
Well, thank you.
I know why High's JROTC.
Right.
Here's why High is going to be participating
Right.
as well. So love it when schools come together to work together.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. From Mardella High School, Keith Flagg. What's going on at Mardella?
Good afternoon. I'm Keith Flagg, and I'm proud to represent Mardella Middle and High School. Students have had a lot of opportunities to be involved in this month's activities. We've had Spirit Week last week, and the teachers won by 58 participation, sadly, beating the students. Spirit days included America on Monday. It was Twin Tuesday. It was Character Day on Wednesday, Green and Gold on Thursday, and Color Wars on Friday, where each grade got a color they had to wear to school. We also set up a pep rally on Thursday, where the homecoming court was announced and games were played throughout the event, including the band was playing as well. We did our performance. The 5K color run was a success and had a huge turnout, including community and teacher participation as well. In addition to the run on the 29th, we had our homecoming soccer game against Y High at the stadium. Our girls had a great victory with 11-0 in their homecoming game. Many people showed up to support us, and we look forward to soon having bleachers that hold many fans at our soccer field. Our homecoming was beautifully decorated in a Beauty and the Beast theme, with everybody dressed formally. Kayla Cook and I won the homecoming Queen and King, while we were joined by the homecoming court for our dance. The school had a food drive to support Hurricane Harvey this fall, and the soccer team plays against Decatur later today and hopes to win all the games up until the playoffs. We look forward to our annual Harvest Fest and Costume Day later this month, where we can dress up inside a school and show some spirit that way. And additionally, we are highly anticipating the Food Lion Drive as well as the Harvey Drive that's going to be done to help with damages to the islands. And it has been a great honor to represent Mardella and do the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. From Parkside High School, Colleen Simpkins. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. I am so honored and privileged to be here speaking again. As he said, I am Colleen Simpkins. I am the SGA president representing Parkside High School. I have so many great news that I need to share. I know last time that I was here, I ended on speaking about the construction that was going on and some of my concerns. Well, I have a new update. We are actually ahead of schedule. The construction that is taking place upstairs in the U wing should be done by December. And so teachers will be able to start moving out from the portables back upstairs into this brand new part of the building with new tile floors, with brand new beautiful lighting. It looks absolutely spectacular. It's so nice. The old carpet is gone. We're very excited for it. And so students should be upstairs going back to their old classrooms as soon as holiday break is over. They'll come right back to school, and I'm very excited for that. Not only are there new tiles, there's also air conditioning, which we are very, very thankful for. So I think it's going to be a great transition for people coming back. So recently, students just took the RI. The reading inventory was SRI, but now Scholastic has been removed from that. They just took it in September, and we were reviewing our numbers, and we saw a major increase from our school year last year between September and April. And it's because we've had a real push for literacy in all of our classrooms. Yesterday at the faculty meeting, the teachers were given a survey to say, what can we do to address your needs for literacy in your classrooms? What can we do to help your kids better incorporate that? And we've just seen a real push for it, and it's been really nice that not only in your English classes are you reading and writing, you're also using this in your social studies classes, your science courses, and even in your extracurricular activities it's being used. And it's become a really great program that we're really pushing for because it's in every aspect of our lives. And so it's really great to see that every teacher has been on board and every staff member is working with us. That's been really great. So the month of October, I'm sure you all know, is a very busy month. Not only is it for breast cancer, it's also anti-bullying month. And so Parkside is really hitting on that. We're focusing this whole month for this movement of kindness and pushing towards people treating others in a more respectful and a kinder way. We have a wall that's set up where people write just nice things to random people, and we post it up. And so as you're passing the hallways, you get to see these notes that people are leaving that's saying, even if it's something simple, it's just a nice way to enhance your day and to have you have more of a positive outlook. We are also doing rock painting in different classes, which I don't know if you have seen around the county, but there has been this movement called Salisbury Rocks, which are a bunch of these rocks that are left in different places, and that's what Parkside's doing, and it's towards kindness and anti-bullying. And it's a great way to get the kids involved into a physical activity. We also, on the announcements, we've been having stories of people sharing what it's like to be on either ends of bullying, and it really helps put it into perspective for students and for it to become more personal for them, so that's been really nice. Also for October, we have homecoming this Friday, Friday the 13th. Very exciting, and I get to actually tell you the theme now because it's public knowledge. Our theme this year is There's No Place Like Homecoming, and it's super cute. So we're actually in the middle of Spirit Week. I had to change before I got here because I did not look very professional. So every day is themed kind of off of the Wizard of Oz. So yesterday was like Oh My Monday, where people dressed up as lions and tigers and bears. So there were so many people that came out on a Monday all dressed up, which is crazy because usually people forget over the weekend or they're too shy to dress up. And then today was Twister Tuesday, where you got to mix and match all your clothes. And just, even though we're only in day 2, there has been so much student involvement and participation. And it's been so great because it's not only your top students, it's people that are kind of coming out of their shell because they feel comfortable in Parkside. And that is so exciting for us. Also tomorrow we are going to have the PSAT for underclassmen. They will have a chance to take it in school. And I was speaking with a lot of underclassmen and how this is such a great opportunity to take it in school, to be in this environment so that when you take the SAT, you're used to it almost. That coming in, you don't get worried, you don't get really stressed out because you're not used to being somewhere like this before. You're not used to sitting down taking this test. You get an option to try it. And what's really great about the PSAT is you get feedback of what you need to be working on, and they will give you specific problems of what you need to work on and to address. And so it's been great, and there's been a lot of improvements in students across the board in our school because of it. Also, like I said, so we have homecoming this week. It's very busy. This Thursday, we are going to have our homecoming game at the county stadium, and it's Parkside versus Snow Hill. It's at 6:30, and we have decided to have our first ever block party for this event. So students, it's a limited ticket event. It's very exclusive. They will come in and their ticket will pay for their admissions for the game, for a t-shirt to wear during the game, and for a voucher for concessions so they can get some food while they are there. And there's going to be so many activities. We're going to have cornhole games set up. We're going to have face painting, people writing posters for the different players. And it's a great opportunity for our school to come together and to share in this exciting moment of our school year, but also to really encourage those on the team and to show them that we're out here supporting them. And so I'm very excited for that. And it'll take place at 4:30, so it's an hour before it's open. The stadium is open for everyone to come in. So it's a really cool thing to have because people know that you have to do your best in order to be there. There's guidelines, and it's very controlled. There's going to be people there that are making sure that you had to work to be there. And so it's so great that this whole county stadium is going to be filled with people that are really there to support our team and to support our school as a whole. And so I'm very excited for it. We also, this Saturday after homecoming, we have Del Marvacade coming up, which is very exciting for those students in band because it's really nice for our community to see what we work so hard for. I think a lot of times when you say to your teachers, I can't go hang out with my friends tonight because I have to be up early for my Saturday practice or I have a competition. Because now that it's here and it's a home performance for us, that everyone in the community can come in and see how hard we work and why we work so hard. And it's really great. It's a great opportunity for our band. We use it as a fundraiser for us for new uniforms and to take care of our yearly expenses because it is expensive doing what we do. And so it's really great to get people involved and to have people support us in what we're doing. It's absolutely fantastic. It starts at 5 p.m. The gates are open, and it's bands from all over the East Coast. And I'm very excited to have everyone from the Eastern Shore kind of come down and watch us perform. It's going to be very exciting. Parkside is hosting, so we aren't technically competing, but it's great just to be the last people on the field and to just look at all the people that have come to support us and show us encouragement. It's very nice. I just want to say that Parkside is doing a great job, and we're working really hard to continue to be a family, and I'm very honored to be a part of this family. And that's it for my report.
Thank you.
Are you in band?
Yes, I am.
Do you have new uniforms yet, or you're working on that?
So we have brand new pants and brand new shoes. We're still working on the jackets. It's really expensive, and we're working hard to make sure that these uniforms are even custom made for some of our students. And we're very excited for it. It's it's going to be a difficult process, but we were trying to get it by ACCs this year, which is the final competition for the season, and it's very exciting, but we are definitely working hard for it.
Thank you. From Y High, Nicholas Ian.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nicholas Wynn, and I am very happy to represent Wacomico High School today. I hope everyone is having a splendid day, by the way. So to start off, the Wacomico High School's marching band has secured 3 first-place trophies and is currently #1 in their division so far. The students are enthusiastic to compete in future marching band competitions this season. The community of students, teachers, and staff at Y High wish this year's marching band the best of luck. At our first PTA night, we had a higher number of parents attend than past events. We hope that the attendance of parents at PTA will build throughout the year. So connecting to the last topic was the Gear Up program. So Gear Up is a national program which prepares and educates students about for post-secondary school success. So the 10th grade was treated to a luncheon and was spoken to by Mr. Paul Butler last week. And the efforts of teachers who participate in Gear Up inspire students to push themselves to become successful in and after high school. We have recently closed our sales on our Crucial Catch merchandise, and we have sold 200 items. All profits will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Just imagine, at our Crucial Catch game, the culmination of students wearing the Crucial Catch attire would show that one tribe is committed to raising awareness and fighting breast cancer. So last week, when I went to collect the freshman SGA applications, I was late to see that there were a stack of papers in the collection bin. It makes me very happy to see that many freshmen want to make a difference in their school and to be a leader among their peers. So on October 16th, we will hold an assembly where candidates will read their speeches live in front of the whole freshman class. This is a first at Wacomico High School. This is a trial run, and if this method proves popular, then we will apply it to all future SGA elections. So we will have 2 college trips this month. The first college trip was planned by my AP Bio teacher, Rebecca Matthews. It will be a college trip to Washington, D.C. Students will be able to visit Georgetown, American, and Howard University. The students will not only see the specific school, but also be able to experience distinct college environments as well. Our guidance office is also planning a trip to a national college convention in Baltimore at the end of the month, where they will see over 300 colleges and universities there. They will also have the option to visit Morgan State University and Towson University as well. These trips will help upperclassmen narrow down their college search and potentially find their right school for them. An athletic achievement came on September 28th. Wacomico High School's varsity football team beat Washington High 34-26. Our homecoming game and dance are rapidly approaching. The date of the game is October 19th, and the dance is on the 20th. The days before then will be Spirit Week. From Couch Potato Day on Monday to Way Back Wednesday, students are able to show their school spirit that week.
Sounds like my day.
With a renewed sense of community at Y High, I'm hopeful that this year's participation will be spectacular. We are very excited for the numerous events in the ensuing weeks. Wacomico High School will continue to go beyond expectations to help students achieve their goals. This is what One Tribe does. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nick, before you get away, what do you do for Couch Potato Day?
So it's our spin on Pajama Day. So according to the Wacomico County dress code, pajamas are not allowed. So we kind of twisted the words to saying to wear clothes that you would wear on when you guys are being late, when we're being lazy at home. So the reason why we changed it from Pajama Day to Couch Potato Day, so there will be less infractions on the dress code on Monday.
All right.
Good decision.
Like that. Very creative.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to all of you. This is why that I do what I do. To listen to these students and all students in this county. It's really amazing to me to see what's going on. And this is just a touch of a few. It's really wonderful. Next on the agenda is 3.6, public comment. And I do not have any sheets. I'll move 3. 3.7, Superintendent's Report.
Okay, I have a few items, but I want to start with our guests because they've been waiting so patiently. I would like to invite Sheriff Lewis and Captain Wilson and Mr. Ed Clark he's the Executive Director of the Maryland Center for School Safety, and David Owens and others, Andy Turner, who works with us. I'm not sure who all is part of this presentation, but they have come to share some information.
Bear with me, we have to get a couple of plaques out.
So we got a mic, the radio behind me.
Board's indulgence. While we're getting those ready, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Ed Clark. I'm the Executive Director for the Maryland Center for School Safety, and we're here today to make a very special presentation for School Safety Awards, Outstanding Leadership Awards, and Partnership Awards. The Maryland Center for School Safety was created 3 years ago by our legislature following the horrific tragedy at Sandy Hook. Our overall mission is to work with all 24 public school superintendents, our school principals, our sheriffs, our chiefs, SROs, both at the private school level and the public school level. Make sure in the state of Maryland we have a safe and secure learning environment for all of our students. And that comes in a lot of different shapes, sizes, and colors. And it starts with collaboration and working hard, everyone there to make sure when kids come to school, they feel safe, supported, and ready to learn, to get a quality education. And we've certainly seen that here today in Wycomico County. We have an annual School Safety Award, and this year was the first time myself and my colleague, Mr. Dino Pignataro, also from the Center for School Safety, we developed a series of awards to recognize outstanding leadership for people who work together in the sense of teamwork, pride, and collaboration to ensure we have a safe and supportive school environment. So we're pleased here today to recognize some of the outstanding individuals here from Wycomico County Public Schools and the Wycomico Sheriff's Department here. So the first award will go to Mr. Andy Turner and Sergeant Dave Owens. And gentlemen, what this award is for was for the School Safety and Security Director working in collaboration and partnership with the School Resource Officer Supervisor. And I would tell you, these two gentlemen work hard every single day together as a team to make sure your schools here in Wycomico County are safe. So that's the first award that goes to these two gentlemen, and congratulations. I also want to recognize Dr. Hanlon, Mr. Turner. A year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, the Maryland Center for School Safety was asked by a local school superintendent to come in to conduct an internal investigation into serious allegations of child sex abuse. The center accepted that charge. We assembled a statewide investigative team, and we reached out directly to ask for the assistance of Mr. Turner, and I will tell you, his skills and abilities were instrumental in us working through that horrific matter and bringing recommendations and observations back to the local school superintendent. So we want to thank Andy for his skill and his leadership and being there as an advocate for those children who are the victims of child sex abuse. The next award we have is for the Law Enforcement Executive of the Year Award, and that goes to Captain Babe Wilson. And that's a great name, by the way, Captain Babe Wilson.
It's always like the ball player, not the pigs.
And he's that's a great name. But Captain Wilson's been instrumental working with the superintendent, Dr. Hanlon, and her team, and really in a visionary way. 2 years ago, the Maryland Center for School Safety partnered with the United States Department of Justice Compton School Office. We were selected to have a national pilot program for community policing training for school administrators and school resource officers. We were the only state in the country that was awarded that grant. The first school district we came because of the partnership that exists between the sheriff and the superintendent was Wycomico County. So Captain Wilson was instrumental in that. So thank you, Captain.
Again, I echo the sentiments for the Board of Ed participation and sponsorship for that. That was a really great opportunity for us all.
So you should be very proud to be one of the 3 pilot sites. The others were St. Mary's County, and recently we trained Baltimore City School Police. So congratulations for being a pioneer and accepting that opportunity. The next award goes to the 2 top executives, your school superintendent, Dr. Hanlon, and Sheriff Mike Lewis. And leadership starts at the top. You all know that. How they work together so well. They have shared vision to make sure every day that all of your children come to school ready, able, and prepared in a safe and supportive learning environment. And that doesn't happen by chance. So they have that rich tradition of working together, understanding their common mission as senior executives in this county. So we wanted to recognize them for their collaboration, their teamwork, and really their sincere commitment to school safety. So, Dr. Hanlon, congratulations for your efforts in working with Sheriff Lewis. Sheriff Lewis, heck of a job too. And we believe strongly in school resource officers. And you have a great program here, and that's not without the commitment of both of these 2 outstanding executives. The other thing, out of 24 school districts, there were only 3 school superintendents and the local sheriffs that were selected to receive these awards. So congratulations. St. Mary's County and Cecil County. But Sheriff, there was no county police chief, so you got to work with those county police chiefs. Sheriff Cameron and Sheriff Adams. So, absolutely. We just want to say thank you for what you all do every day to make sure your children get a great education here. It's always a pleasure to come here. Anything that we can do for the center to continue training, continue to have partnership, we're here to support everyone in school safety because that's all about mission working together. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay right there. Dr. Hanlon, let's have you 2 stay right there for just a second. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you for what you did for our county.
Mike.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations. Great. Okay. We'll get the 411.
I would like to recognize one more person who is kind of behind the scenes in this, but her leadership, and she stepped out, so she's not going to hear me, although I think she does because I see her face turning red, is Mrs. Kim Miles, who's our Assistant Superintendent for Student and Family Services. And Kim does an amazing job working with these gentlemen and keeping our schools safe, Mr. Turner. And, so thank you. Okay, so I guess I'm still on a roll.
Still yours.
Okay. I have just a few other things. I wanted to make sure, especially, I understand, I think the board has copies of the latest edition of the brochure announcing our parent university opportunities. This is the 2nd year that we will be offering this program for parents. And it's the brochure that is out and will be disseminated in all of our schools and across the community, does outline a number of monthly opportunities for parents. We held our first one on October 5th, which was on how to help your child with homework. The next opportunity is at the end of October, on October 26th, which is 4 superpowers of parents. And I did ask Mrs. Scheller, who works with Dr. Faye Wilson on this, will you all be going in your superhero costumes? And she kind of led me to believe that that's still to be determined. But there are some great opportunities that we are offering for parents in our community to come to assist them in working with our schools and in helping to raise their children. So more information on that each month as we offer those opportunities. I would also like to just mention that the board will recall that you approved a salary study for all 3 of our employee groups last year, and tomorrow we kick that off. Actually, we've kicked it off already, but we really get started tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, there are opportunities for staff to attend regional meetings to learn more about how to have input into the salary study. Mr. Butler and Mrs. Saylor, or both of them, will be videotaping those so that they're for teachers and staff who are not able to attend those sessions. They can watch them on video. Did I miss anything, Mr. Pavitt?
Yes, well, I'll just quickly
please.
Take up too much time. There are 18 informational sessions being scheduled starting tomorrow at various schools throughout the county so that we try and capture all the staff to show them how they're going to participate in the salary study. We've actually been working behind the scenes for approximately a month now, gathering information and sending it to MAG, who is the vendor that was awarded the contract. And after Friday, then all staff will be, some will be required, some are optional to fill out a job analysis questionnaire, and then a market study will take place, and there will be more information by spring as to where we stand in terms of that study.
So thank you, Board, for your approval of this much-needed process. And last but not least, we have Mrs. Courtney Jones to update you on what's going on in the world of grants.
Money.
Money.
Yes. Money. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And I apologize for the September report not being here last
Well,
month.
But the reason you were here was acceptable.
Thank you. I had one leaving for the Army and one getting married within a week. So, for the September report, there were 8 grants submitted in August, totaling $28,028. One for a robotics program through MSDE. 3 grants for teacher supply boxes from Kids in Need Foundation, 3 to the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and 1 to Marathon Kids for a running club program at Pittsville. There was 1 grant funded in August, totaling $1,028,160, and that program is actually supporting full-day pre-K programs at Chipman, Pemberton, and Prince Street Elementaries. There were 2 grants that were not funded in August, totaling $58,194 through the Wycomico Partnership for Families and Children for 2 out-of-school time programs, one at Y Middle and one at Y High. For the October report, there were 6 grants submitted in the month of September, totaling $253,106, 2 to the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, 1 for the continuation of the Gear Up program, 1 to the Maryland Higher Education Commission supporting the Gear Up mentoring program, and 2 Target field trip grants. There was 1 grant funded in September totaling $1,649.50 to the Maryland State Arts Council, and there were not any grants that were not funded. Year to date, we have requested total funds of $2,202,341, and we have been funded so far this fiscal year $1,137,071.50. And I stand for any questions.
The pre-K grant is for what fiscal year?
It is a pre-K expansion program which provides an all-day program at Chipman, Prince Street, and Pemberton Elementary Schools. This is in addition to our Judy Center grants that we already have in those schools.
Because we were talking about that at our meeting yesterday. And,
with the Universal.
Would that be for the next fiscal year that we? Or
This
for
is
the
current fiscal
okay.
year, yes.
Right.
Yes, and then we resubmit each year
Okay.
for funding for those programs.
That's how we were able to do it. So these grants.
Okay.
Oh, and one additional thing, we have been in partnership with the Ward Museum for an after-school program for a program called STEAM, that stands for Science, Technology, Research, Environment, Art, and Math. And this will be held, this after-school program will be held at East Salisbury, North, Glen Avenue, and Prince Street. We did lose funding through our 21st Century grant for our elementary school after-school program, so this will be helping to provide that opportunity for some of our students. And we received $236,000 in partnership with the Ward Museum to be able to offer that to our students as well.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gordon.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much.
4.1, approval of open session minutes. Everyone has had the opportunity to look at the minutes. August 29th work session, August 29th special meeting, and September 12th regular meeting. I will entertain a motion to accept.
Move to accept.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same. Moving on to consent items. Where the public's out here, we've had the opportunity to go over all the consent items. We do not go down them one by one, but if there's anything or any question from any board member on anything on their consent items, please talk about them now. Hearing none, I entertain a motion to accept the consent items.
Move to accept.
I got a motion. Is there a second? A second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same. I will mention on one of the consent items, there was a law that came in effect this year where now board members have to be Open Meetings Act designee. And myself and Gene Malone have taken a course, and we're now such. So we're now the ones on the Closed Meeting Act. And any other board member that wants to do that, please take the opportunity. About an hour and 20 minutes of your time, you can go online. Okay, moving on. 6.1. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, is there a motion to ratify the Unit 3-4 agreement as negotiated?
So move.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I got a motion, a second. Discussion. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same. Thank you, Vince.
Mr. Fitzgerald, I did want to take just a moment earlier in closed session as I talked to you about the negotiated agreement. I would be remiss if I did not recognize a very exclusive team of negotiators that really helped us to get this done. It was a very trying year and very challenging year, but I would like to recognize our team and Ms. Miles, Mr. Ford, Mr. Langen and Souza, Eric Gosley, Erica Cook, Principal Dave Harris from Fruitland, and Assistant Principal Michelle McGugan from Wycomico High School, who served on the team. Dr. Townsend, who is retired, started out on the team, as well as the late Miss Diane Pellegrino, who started out on the team. But they all had a hand in this, and I also would like to thank WCEA for their participation in this process, and their agreeing to a contract that I believe is fair by all parties. And although they aren't able to be here today, I did want to also recognize WCEA, because we may not always agree, but we did collaborate to come to an agreement. And you all know Mr. Jeffers, who also behind the scene gave us some legal representation, and I was about to use and Darren Burns, who was our other legal counsel, was here, and I was going to recognize him and use the M&M. He is real, because nobody's ever met him, but he is here somewhere, and I would also like to recognize him as well.
Hold on a minute. Folks, go get it.
Yeah, I think he's a little camera shy, so I appreciate their help as well. So thank you guys as well.
He's for real.
So he is real, everybody. Thank you, Darren, and the team. All right.
Thank you for everything you did. $6.2. Our audit firm, TGM Group LLC, Certified Public Accountants, has completed the audit of the Board of Education for the period ending June 30th, 2017. The following documents provided to you in advance for your review. Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, CAFR, for the Board of Education of Wycomico County for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2017. Audit Communications, June 30th, 2017. Report on internal control over financial reporting and on compliance and other matters. The Audit Committee reviewed the CFR with the auditors on September the 29th, 2017. Upon the superintendent's recommendation, is there a motion the board accept the audit reports as submitted for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017?
Move to accept.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion?
I would just like to say briefly, after meeting with the auditors, and for the first time since I'm new to the board, I wanted to share with openly the amount of transparency and recommendations and information provided by auditors. Really, and as a CPA myself, I was very, very impressed with especially the transparency, the amount of information, and I just wanted to congratulate the finance team on a job well done. And it was very, very impressive. I've not seen a set of financials and a limited number of comments related to the management letter. Really something that the board is very proud of.
Thank you.
I also serve on that committee, and I agree. It's and the auditors, I mean, they looked at everything, and they're very complimentary on your staff. And I know that Jesse's not here, and he's filling your big shoes, but the whole team, you need to really compliment them, because I know it's not an easy task. So thank you.
Thank you. It is in fact a great team, and I thank you for those compliments. I will definitely relay those.
6.3. We didn't vote on that. Oh, that's right. We didn't. We had a discussion. I'm glad somebody's keeping me straight. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, saying thank you. Now we can move on. 6.3 personnel matters. Classified, informational only. Everybody had the opportunity. Any questions on personnel matters? 7.1 board members report. Mr. Brown, I'm going to start with you. I know you have to get out of here, so I'm going to start with you.
Just like to report that I attended my first meeting. I just attended my first conference, our MAID meeting on last Wednesday, and was really not surprised, but surprised to see that many of the things that the school system all over the state are wrestling with, we're still wrestling with, finding solutions, but in a very slow and methodical manner. But everyone there was upbeat and looking forward to having a good year. And I think the superintendents who did attend will testify that the school system is growing very slowly, but I do believe that we continue to have one of the best school systems in the country.
Thank you. Mr. Turner?
After a breakfast meeting yesterday, I just wanted to compliment the superintendent and the staff, the presentation they made to our legislative leaders, and I thought it was well received and very encouraging. I think they're very big supporters of ours, and I was thrilled to be part of that, and very informative. I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Mr. Palmer?
Don, I'd just like to thank Dr. Hanlon for getting all those people together yesterday. It was the entire Eastern Shore delegation, and she had a great presentation in which she laid out some of the things that the school system could use, and we were able to share some thoughts and ideas with the people who go up there and try to get money and funds for us. And it's the communication with them and the county government officials is very, very important. Just like having Councilman Hall back there tonight. I'd like to see more of them here more often. So, Dr. Hanlon, thank you for getting that group together.
I wanted to, being last year, I might be a little repetitive, but I enjoyed also last Wednesday the main conference as well. I found it very interesting and extremely proud to be a resident and be a board member here in Wicomico County, because I felt that throughout the state we are on top, and we are very fortunate for all the people working together as a team. We broke up into different workshops, and I attended the one that I like the government working with the educators, and I think we do that here very, very well in our own county. And it was interesting to hear, and I spoke on a couple things and represented, and they kind of, oh, yeah, really, that's happening, you know. And so I thought that was important. And as well as the breakfast meeting yesterday, I thank you for getting all of those together, those legislators, and talking, and they listened, and very fortunate. And I enjoyed all the student reports from all of you as well, and hearing what's happening. Homecoming's a big time of the year for all of us. And thank you.
Thank you. I also was at the breakfast yesterday, and it was an honor to be there, and I shared with them that to make everything work, everybody's got to work together. We can't be one pulling against the other. And they've been with us. And again, yesterday, Senator Mathias told me, anything you need. That's the kind of support we got. So, you know, going forward, I know that, you know, we got trying times. But when you can look back and say we got somebody you can go to, it makes it a lot easier. And in county government, same thing with Mr. Hall here today. Again, I know I get on a soapbox, but it's the best it's ever been since I've been on this board, the working relationship. We may not always agree. With Sugar, I don't agree with my wife all the time. So, you know, as long as we can get things forward, that's what it's all about, is for these three youngsters that are in here. Because this is keeps me going. It really does. And I know you got a lot of teachers out there who feel the same way. It's because that's why they do what they do. So again, thank you. If no one has anything else, meeting adjourned.